Hey, hi, and welcome back. We've reached the point of the story where Alice follows the rabbit and begins to go down the rabbit hole. The moment Alice falls down the rabbit hole, the story shifts from curiosity to surrender. This is not a step. This is a plunge. Carol's depiction of the descent is not violent. It is a slow and spiraling descent, as if to say that awakening does not always come through force, but through a quiet unraveling of everything we thought we knew. The rabbit hole is the chasm between logic and wonder, where gravity becomes more than physical. It becomes spiritual. As Alice tumbles through time, space, and seemingly endless shelves of forgotten objects, Carol invites us to let go of our attachments to surface reality and to tumble into the subconscious. This fall is the great unlearning. It is the moment we leave the world of rigid rules and social constraints and enter into the realm where transformation becomes possible. Just as the caterpillar will later challenge Alice with, "Who are you?" the fall begins the slow peeling away of identity. She does not control her fall, and that's the whole point. It mirrors the spiritual journey itself. Once the decision to seek is made, the descent begins. And then we must trust the path even when we cannot see the bottom. To crawl into Wonderland would imply a deliberate, calculated effort. It suggests that we are in control and we're moving cautiously forward with intention, perhaps even resistance. Crawling implies awareness of danger, a desire to preserve one's current state while exploring something new. But Wonderland was never meant to be entered this way. It cannot be approached with guarded steps or intellectual planning. That's not how transformation works. To fall into Wonderland, however, is to surrender. It is to lose your footing on purpose or by fate. It is ungraceful, it is unplanned, and it is full of momentum. Falling strips away the ego's control. In Carol's tale, this descent is not just physical, it's metaphysical. Alice isn't crawling into a new chapter. She's being pulled into the space between worlds, a place where the known dissolves, a place where that only can be reached when you let go of everything you think you are. And in today's world, this symbolism is more vital than ever before. We live in a time where old structures are crumbling. Truth is questioned, identity is fluid, and the very ground beneath our feet often feels unstable. To walk the path ahead, many feel called to awaken, to question, to break free of systems that no longer serve. But this awakening doesn't come through tiptoeing into the safe new paradigms. It comes through the fall. The modern-day rabbit hole is the portal through which we leave the predictable and enter the possible. But as Alice just did, we must let go of what we were taught and dare to be disoriented for a while. The journey demands discomfort. The fall humbles us. But only then can we reach that strange and sacred place where new truths are being born. So in this journey with Alice, we are not just telling a story, we are living the story, one rabbit hole at a time. For readers, this is a sacred metaphor, and the metaphor is that you cannot climb into Wonderland. You must fall into it. Many who long for awakening make one quiet misstep. They try to crawl into Wonderland. They read the books, they take the courses, they repeat the affirmations, and they try to manage their spiritual ascent like a project with a checklist. They crawl cautiously, wanting the transformation, but they don't want the disorientation. They wish to keep one hand on the familiar while reaching with the other for the mystical. But Wonderland does not reward the careful. It does not open to the crawling mind. It opens to the heart. and the falling spirit. To ascend, one must first descend, and not in a linear, logical way. Carol knew this. That's why Alice doesn't climb. She falls. The fall is frightening because it strips away control. It shatters certainty, and it dismantles ego's grip. But it is also the moment of spiritual trust, and is when we stop crawling towards something and finally let go into everything. The truth is, you cannot crawl into transformation. You cannot tiptoe into your purpose. You really must just fall. Once this truth is felt, not just known in the mind, but felt and recognized by the spirit and held in the heart, something miraculous happens. The crawling stops. The effort is softened, the fears are released, and the seeker becomes the surrenderer. Spirit at last falls into becoming its own. This is not by mistake. This is the path. And the fall, well, that's the blessing. Hey, thanks for being here with me on this journey into the heart of the rabbit hole. Your presence means more to me than you know, and I hope, like Alice, you're starting to feel the stirrings of something deep within, a truth that is ready to waken. If today's message stirred something in you, then don't miss out what's coming next, because the fall, well, that's just the beginning. In our next video, we're going to enter into the strange and wonderful magical corridor where nothing makes sense. There are locked doors all around. There's a tiny golden key that was left mysteriously on a table. There's bottles that whisper, "Drink me," and cakes that dare you to eat me. And yes, Alice's great pool of tears. Each one holds a clue. Each one asks a question of spirit, and each one will lead us closer to the wonderland within. So take a deep breath, let your curiosity rise, and I'll meet you in the next chapter. Until then, dear traveler, just keep falling.